Jai Guruji Sangat ji. Shukrana to Guruji, first of all, for blessing us through his satsangs. And we are grateful today that Binny uncle could join us to share his satsang. So, Binny uncle will hand it over to you.
Jai Guruji, everybody. I don't know how many are there, but
Jai Guruji.
Jai Guruji.
okay. So my name is Binny Kapur. I normally don't do these. Would you like me to speak in English or Hindi ji?
Uncle, as you are comfortable, I think we'll go with the flow.
No, I'm comfortable with both. You tell me. जो आप बोलोगे, I'm okay with that. Or maybe a mix of both
I
चलता
think
रहेगा
mix
नाल
is,
नाल.
mix
पंजाबी
is
भी बोल
also,
सकता
mix
मैं
is,
वैसे.
yeah. परफेक्ट अंकल तीनों मिक्स करते
Okay.
हैं वो गुरुजी वाला पूरा फ्लेवर आ जाएगा परफेक्ट है
गुरुजी के टाइम पे बहुत ठेठ पंजाबी होती थी, so which even we wouldn't understand at times, but yes, one is used to it. So how do you want me to start? I mean, you want to, there's really nothing much to say about Guruji. We all know Guruji. So there is, everybody has had his or her own experiences with him. And I had started my journey with him in 1997. And that's the time he actually came from Punjab to Delhi. And he was at Empire Estate, which is now known as Chota Mandir, which is actually Sudha Auntie's house. But yes, that is where he used to reside. I don't know how many of you have met Guruji or how many of you have been to Chota Mandir or to. Has anybody met Guruji over here in the Sangat?
No, uncle. I think we're all based out of Malaysia, but I joined. I started going to Bade Mandir in 2011, and yes, been
Right.
to Chode Mandir couple of times.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so that means I'm really old because I spent a good 7, 8 years, 9 years with him. And when I said spent with him means it was spent very up close and right next door. I used to be at the adjoining house in Empire Estate. And so a lot of people ask me, what is Guruji? Uh, I don't know. I don't know how to explain that term. What is Guruji? Guruji is a feeling. Guruji is something you have to sense. Guruji is something which I marvel at people like aap log sab, who have not physically met him, but yet have so much faith and belief in him. So that really shows his enigma and his power. People like us, sometimes I question myself, supposing मैं नहीं मिला होता गुरुजी ने, would I be as devoted as I see a lot of people are? And the question comes, still remains a question. I haven't really found an answer to that, but having experienced him, there is lots that one has done in life, been grateful to him for whatever has happened in life. So many things, the way it's changed our lives. So, honestly, in this satsang, I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of people saying, oh, main eh kita, eh ho gaya. We all have had our own experiences. We all have had our own journeys with him. So, to say, कि, oh, जी, मैं बीमार होया, फिर मैं, sometimes I'm sorry, but I hear people. That's why I don't like to do these satsang because वो गल ਨੂੰ ਇੰਨਾ ਬੜਾ ਚੜਾ ਕੇ ਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਗਿਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਦਵਾ ਲੈ ਲਓ ਮੈਂ ਦਵਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਿੱਤੀ ਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੁਖਾਰ ਸਵੇਰੇ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ. These are very petty things. And Guruji used to say that. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਸਲੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਲੈਣ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਂਦਾ. ਸਭ ਆਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਢਿੱਡ 'ਚ ਪੀੜ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਬੱਚਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਫਲਾਣਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ come for the real stuff, come for what I am. Don't come for these materialistic things. And that is what I have imbibed in myself, that शुक्राना करा हो. Don't always come with an intentions of asking, because ਸਾਨੂੰ as human beings ਆਦਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਮੰਗਣ ਦੀ. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਓ ਕੁਝ ਮੰਗਦੇ ਰਹਿਣੀਏ, ਸਿਰਫ ਸ਼ੁਕਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੋ. And he would say that, so he would, when he first came to Delhi, after a few months, and, we would all sit with him and we were very, very close to him. And in the evening, that Sangat utke jandi si, he would say, Dekhya, Delhi wali Sangat sab allopathy again. ਇੱਥੇ ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਂਦੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਸਲੋ ਐਂਡ ਸਟੱਡੀ. ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਚਟ ਮੰਗਣੀ ਪਟ ਵਿਆਹ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਕਰਾਓ ਕਲਿਆਣ ਗੋਰੀ ਤੇ ਚਲਦੇ ਬਣੋ. ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਣਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ, ਹੋਮਿਓਪੈਥੀ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਹੈਗੀ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਟਾਈਮ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ। ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਰਖਣਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਰਖਦੇ ਹੋ, ਐਂਡ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ what I am or what I am not. So don't always come with के ओ जी वो पता लगा जी गुरु जी बैठते हैं, बाबा जी बैठते हैं, वहां चले जाओ, वो मत्था टेको, प्रसाद देंगे, आप ठीक हो जाओगे। यू नो इसे जो मेरे हाथ ਚ ਹੈਗਾ, ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਵੀ ਠੀਕ ਕਰ ਸਕਦਾ ਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਾਲ ਵੀ ਨਾ ਕਰਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ। ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਰਮ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਭੁਗਤਨੇ ਪੈਣੇ ਨੇ। It's not that things will disappear if you're meant to go through something. So his teachings were very different. They weren't really teachings. People would say कि गुरु जी क्या सिखाते थे? गुरु जी कुछ नहीं सिखाते थे। गुरु जी सिर्फ कहते थे be a good human being, be a good father, be a good brother, be a good mother, sister, neighbor, employee, employer, and चंगे काम कीता करो, माड़े काम ना कीता करो. Those were really his teachings. He wouldn't give sermons. We would sit in the evenings. The sangat started. पहले थे 50 लोग आंदे सी, फिर 60 होए, 70 होए. There were times where there would be 400 people in the evening. And ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਨਿਬੜ ਕੇ ਕਦੀ 1 ਵਜ ਜਾਏ ਰਾਤੀ, ਕਦੀ 2 ਵਜ ਜਾਣ, and I would be lucky enough to be right next to him, giving the prasad, serving him tea, and stuff like that. And Guruji had a very so after he would finish, then we would say chaliye kidhare, kithe chalna hai? Chal India Gate chaliye. So then we would drive, 3-4 of us, Sudha auntie, myself, few other sangat people, we would all drive India Gate sair karan chale gaye. Kadi rati acha cha peen chalne a, again people will laugh at it, and people used to. We've been to Moria Hotel with him. He would love to go there. He would not eat or drink anything outside. And अपना ले जाते सी नींबू पानी करो या कुछ, and he would tell us मंगाओ कॉफी, मंगाओ सैंडविच, मंगाओ, so he was, I don't know how to put it, but there was such an aura about himself that even people who would be there would start looking, okay, who is this man? And when he would go out with us, it's not that he would be in his chola. He would put on Adidas shoes and sneakers and t-shirt and go with us, like any one of us. But the aura that he had was just so difficult to explain. Everybody would stare back. So that was Guruji. Guruji had a great sense of humor. Guruji had a temperament. So there were days in Guruji's, like he would sit in satsang, at the satsang at Empire Estate in the evening. And there were days when you would walk in, and I knew after a few months that Aj Yadev chad pani hai, because he would be in a very pensive mood. He would be in a very, not angry, but you could make out कि आज गुरुजी ना ज़्यादा आगे पीछे ना होना, कुछ पैदा नहीं है, कुछ ना कुछ. And some days he was in such a mood that he would laugh all the way with you, and then in the evening, then he would say, देखिया सी आज जो आया सी, हाँ जी गुरुजी आए. People like Sharad Pawar used to come there. They were different people. वो देखो गवर्नमेंट दा फलाना आ गया, वो आ गया, सारे बस ਇੱਥੇ ही आ जाते हैं कि साडी प्रमोशन करा दियो, साडा ਇਹ करा दियो, कल्याण करा दियो, साडा ਇਹ करवा दियो. So he would laugh it off, and so a lot of people would come, संगत बैठती सी, and we would just imbibe his aura, his presence. What I find today is that I'm glad I'm getting a chance to speak to a few people here in this thing, is that people have forgotten, or rather I shouldn't say forgotten, not forgotten, don't know what Guruji is. When I say forgotten, I put that for the old Sangat people like us, because the flow has become so fast of people that people like us who are now considered veterans have been swept across the wave of the new Sangat, not in a bad way, but the way things are happening these days, the whole thing has changed. There was simplicity. When Guruji was there, it was simple. It was a satsang. Today, I'm sorry to say, some of the satsangs I attend in Delhi are IFA awards. I don't know, maybe that happens in other parts of the world also. Who's the caterer, decorator कौन है, कपड़े नए बनवाने, ते फूल वाले कितने पैसे खर्चने, ते गाना कौन गाएगा. I mean, you're going to Guruji, go for him. Don't go for what you see. I mean, there used to be a very Shabad, बड़ा पुराना शब्द सी, गुरबंस सिंह जगाधरी वाले दा. It said the rakhi charna de kol, I think that's what it called. Yeah, I don't know, in which there were four Vyakhya Andisi. The four kind of people come to the satsang: Unge, Chunge, Sunge, or Dunge. And he would really laugh after that. देखा सी आज किन्ने unge आए सी ते किन्ने चुंगे आए सी ते किन्ने sunge आए सी. So if you hear that shabad, it's basically talks about the kind of people that come to satsangs. You know, one is the kind that will come आंखें बंद करके चुपचाप बैठ जाएंगे, and their eyes will open जब प्रसाद देने वाला आएगा. दूजे अंधे, you know, काम कुम छोड़ के they're only looking around कि कौन आया है कौन नहीं आया. तीजे होंगे and could just come to make contacts and see कि भी कौन है किससे. So it's a व्याख्या, very nice kind of a thing. So today, you know, the satsangs have become more of social gatherings. You know, I we all go to temples, we all go to you know, gurdwaras. How often, guy, probably never in your life have you been to a gurdwara and started dancing. ये डांसिंग का कल्चर पता नहीं कहाँ से आ गया है कि जी गुरुजी कल्याण कर रहे हैं जी डांस करो. And once I had an argument with somebody, but Guruji तो डांस कराते थे. भैया गुरुजी डांस कराते थे. गुरुजी डांस कराते थे 7th of July अपने जन्मदिन पे. गुरुजी डांस कराते थे बैसाखी पे. गुरुजी डांस कराते थे न्यू ईयर्स ईव पे. यू नो, ये नहीं कि हर सत्संग पे खड़े होकर डांस करना शुरू कर दो. दैट इज नॉट अ सत्संग. सत्संग इज जाके जुड़ो गुरुजी नाल. क्लोज योर आईज एंड सिट. डोंट गो देयर टू लिसन टू, यू नो, फलाना सिंगर एंड ढमकाना सिंगर. और खाने के, हमारे टाइम पे जब गुरुजी का सत्संग होता था, एक दाल एक सब्जी रोटी प्रसाद मिलता था. आज तो केटरर बन गए हैं, हु स्पेशलाइज इन गुरुजी का मेन्यू. आई गेस दैट्स द फ्यूचर. यू नो, आई समटाइम्स I feel that I am being too outspoken about these things, but that's what everybody likes. Chalo, as long as it takes you closer to him, that's fine. But don't make a mockery out of him, because that's what it's now become. He's become a commodity. You know, there is no, have a connection with him. You close your eyes and you connect with him. That's when your prayers are answered. That's when you can feel him. You can't feel him in 1,000 people satsang with orchestra blaring on the stage and people dancing away. Where can you connect? How can you connect? Connection is आप शब्द सुनो. गुरुजी के टाइम पे हम सिर्फ शब्द सुनते थे. And there used to be beautiful shabads from, you know, the Gurbani and whatever else. आज है पूरे orchestras हैं जो कुछ है. चलिए, that is what I think the thing which is there. But what I'm trying to say is, I have not seen any people going to mandirs and masjids and gurdwaras and churches and dancing. I don't know why that culture has come here. It's a misconception कि गुरुजी डांस करा के कल्याण करते हैं. गुरुजी कोई कल्याण करते होंगे, हमारा भी शायद करते होंगे उस टाइम, बट उनका हुक्म होता था कि चलो आज 31 दिसंबर है डांस करो. या किसी की शादी पे चले गए गुरुजी के साथ. आई ट्रैवल्ड विद हिम टू मलेरकोटले फॉर वेडिंग्स. आई बीन टू चंडीगढ़ फॉर वेडिंग्स विद हिम. वहां पे जाके चलो जी सारे डांस कर रहे हैं, जाके तुसी भी करो. यू नो, इट्स नॉट दैट it was a ritual. Today that has become a ritual. So everything is now magnified into, you know, glamour and which singer is coming for which function. And बड़े मंदिर में भी, you know, लोग आते हैं. वो ज्यादा, आई डोंट नो कितने गुरुजी के लिए आते हैं और कितने आते हैं कि आज हंसराज हंस गाना गाने आ रहा है वहां पे, और आज बी पराग आ रहा है, बॉलीवुड सिंगर्स आ रहे हैं. So beyond my comprehension, because I have seen him from a different perspective. And for me, I don't really go to very many more satsangs now in Delhi for this reason, because I just feel that is more of a social thing. I'd rather connect at home, you know, sit in my own room and put on a shabad and close my eyes and think of him. So that is my viewpoint of Guruji's, and simplicity, which today is unfortunately not there. How in Malaysia, how big a sangat do you have?
Uncle, on a good, I mean, some satsang, we have about 100 plus sangat joining us.
Nice,
But
great.
so far, I think what I have seen, at least, that simplicity is there. We have not been spoiled, like you said, on Delhi satsang. So usually we do home
Well,
to home,
my only request is keep it simple. Keep it simple and stay connected, because, you know,
and
that's
usually
what
people do it in the homes. We don't do outside satsangs. We
right,
usually do home satsangs,
right,
but very
right.
rarely if there's a big occasion.
No, that's the only way. I mean, like I said, the connection, and he used to say that. And then Mirnal connect karo, one to one connection. He would call it one to one, not through intermediaries via medias, one to one. One to one is, how do you connect with somebody one to one? You have to be alone with him. You cannot be with 1,000 people, or even if you are within 1,000 people, but those all 1,000 must be trying to connect quietly, not with noise, not with glamour, not with this thing. So those were his teachings. We are talking of today. I was telling somebody the other day, so we were just discussing something about Guruji, and I said today it's become religious entertainment. कि चलो भाई काम कुम खत्म करो, शाम को मंदिर जाएंगे, वहां डांस करेंगे, वहां ये करेंगे. That's not at least that's not my viewpoint. I sometimes get flack for saying that and all, but but sangat aise karti hai. Chalo, whatever suits everybody, and everybody has their own way of connecting. So anyway, going back to yes, 97, 98 is when I met with him, and then I was lucky enough that I was the next door neighbor. And I honestly never believed in all these things. My wife went for the first time, and Sudha auntie was right next door. So she asked her, she said, "Aao, hamare Guruji aaye hain Jalandhar se." So my wife went first day, and then Guruji asked, "Ki karda hai husband?" So she told him, "Laike aayi." So she came to me and she said, Guruji was saying, "Come across." मैं क्या यार मैंने नहीं पढ़ना इन चक्करों में. You go. So anyway, as it so happened, I went. And when we walked in, he looked at me and he said, "How Gwandi?" And Guri bhai thet Punjabi बोलते थे. Gwandi is neighbor in Punjabi language. So that was the day, and today is the day. It was just a magnetic this thing, and I think it was a mutual this thing. And I would say I'm so blessed that he took to me, and then I became a regular feature, and I would drive him out here, there, कभी फलाना जगह जाना है, जाना आना है, रात को चाय बनानी, 2-2 बजे तक रात को चाय, लंगर की सेवा, गुरु जी को चाय लेके जानी, आगे पीछे कभी इधर चले गए. So the years went by, and so that's the closeness one had, holding the prasad for him, having his hands washed after the prasad. And that time Bada Mandir was being built in 2000, 2001. We would go there at night and we would sit there, and he would just talk to us, and he would say that, he says, "Meri kadar mere jaan to baad hoegi, ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਲਾਈਨਾਂ ਲੱਗਣਗੀਆਂ." And he's right. Today we see it all over the world. Sangats are everywhere. Sangats are in every city, every town, every place else. And yeah, as far as experiences are concerned, one has had many with him. Medical experiences with my wife. There's no end to them. I can keep talking about those. But like I said, we have all had our own. It is all about faith. It is all about belief. If you have the faith, you have the belief. Time is not essential. Time is something which will happen when the time is right, when it is meant to happen. And like Guruji would say, कि मैं तो अडे कर्म I can, if you're having trouble, मैं तो अडे कर्म, I can make it easier for you. कटने तो आनो पहले. So that was the main thing. It's not कि यार तो नहीं गुरुजी मेरे है जैसा खत्म हो गया चलो ठीक हो गया. You will have to go through. If it's a surgery, you will have to go through it. If it's meant to be, it'll be easier. It'll be done. I'll give you an example of a very simple one. While after Guruji had taken this samadhi, this was sometimes in 2011, my wife was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And जैसे ना जमीन खिसक जाती है पैरों के नीचे से. So luckily I had access to Sudha auntie's home in the Chota Mandir, so I went there. She was not here. Went to Guruji's room, matha tekya. Previous night I couldn't really sleep, and there was a dream that took place where Guruji ne sakshat darshan diye, and he gave me sitting on the chair inside his room sofa जहाँ गुरुजी सोते थे रात को समाधि में. तो उन्होंने वहां से मेरे को एक हाथ से वो दिए सफेद रसगुल्ले छोटे, अपने हाथ में इतने सारे उठा के दिए कि मेरे 2 हाथों में नहीं फिट आए, और आई वाज कवर्ड विद चाशनी, एंड ही सेड जा कल्याण कर देता. एंड आई स्टिल रिमेंबर दैट वेरी क्लियरली. आई डिड नॉट इवन टेल हिम व्हाट आई, ही सेड हो गया कल्याण. नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग व्हेन आई वेंट देयर, छोटू भैया को बोला कि क्या हो गया, मैंने कहा नहीं ऐसे ही, आ जाओ अंदर आओ. वेंट इनटू गुरुजी's room, he got some चाय प्रसाद and matha टेक के, we were just sitting there quietly, and 5 minutes later he comes and says, सुधा आंटी ऊपर बुला रहे हैं. मैंने कहा सुधा आंटी कब आए? कह रहे नहीं उनको 1-2 दिन ही हुए हैं, अभी किसी को बताया नहीं उन्होंने, बिकॉज जेट लैग थे या जो भी है, तो ऊपर बुला रहे हैं. So we went up, एंड क्या हो गया? मैंने कहा आंटी ऐसी ऐसी बात हुई है। नहीं, सब ठीक करेंगे गुरुजी। सो शी टोल्ड छोटू भैया कि वो प्रसाद लेके आओ। तो इस प्रसाद तो कोई ज्यादा है नहीं, बट शायद कल परसों कोई आया था। फ्रिज के ऊपर एक डब्बा पड़ा हुआ है, वो छोड़ गए थे गेट के ऊपर। ही बॉट दैट डब्बा एंड इट हैड द सेम व्हाइट रसगुल्लास इन इट which were left at the mandir. So, these are the signs of the blessings you get. So, वो सर्जरी भी हुई, 12 घंटे की सर्जरी थी, 10-11 घंटे की. And the doctor, at the Medanta, the senior most neurologist, he says, I've never seen a case like this where somebody with such a huge tumor has walked into my clinic. Otherwise, normally somebody would have come with a coma. And he says, walked in, and on the third day, she was released. Not an iota of blood was required. It was a bloodless surgery they managed to do. Additional blood was not required. So these are blessings. You can take them as what you are, and these blessings come with faith. These blessings come with so like this. There are many small, big incidences like this which still carry on in our lives. I still once in a while, I wouldn't say regularly, Guruji ke darshan hote hain in a dream. And people ask me, होते हैं? मैंने कहा यार कभी कभी एक साल कुछ नहीं होता, एंड देन सडनली एक दिन ख्याल आता है. बट व्हाट आई मार्वल विद दिस पीपल ऑफ टुडे, मैं तो हैरान रह जाता हूँ देख के, यहाँ रील्स देख देख के लोगों के घरों में गुरुजी बिस्किट भी खा जाते हैं, जूस भी पी जाते हैं. आई मीन इट्स अनइमेजिनेबल. वो देखो जी हमारे रात को वो रखा, गुरुजी सारा जूस पी गए. वो देखो जी हमारा ग्लूकोज बिस्किट का पैकेट पड़ा था, सुबह खाली हो गया. जय गुरुजी आपने बिस्किट खा लिए सारे. आई मीन इट्स unheard of. वही तुम कह रहे हो, इट्स बीन मेड इनटू अ मॉकरी. आई मीन हमें भी इतने साल हो गए हैं गुरुजी की तस्वीर अपना शुरू घर में, हमारे यहाँ तो बिस्किट और जूस नहीं पिए उन्होंने. बट लोगों के तो 1 महीना पहले जुड़े हैं तो उनके जूस और बिस्किट खत्म हो गए हैं. सो आई मीन आई एम सॉरी बट आई फाइंड दैट हिलेरियस. एंड आई फाइंड इट कि भाई पता नहीं कैसे ये चीजें हो रही हैं. अमृत वर्षा ऐसी हो रही है कि शायद इकट्ठा हो रहा है उनकी टेबलों के ऊपर. So I don't know where this comes from, how it is happening, where it is happening from, but it's वही ना उसका मौकरी बन गई है. I hope people realize sooner or later that it's becoming into a mockery. And अपना दिल लगाओ, ध्यान लगाओ, गुरुजी के साथ बैठो, बातें करो. आंखें बंद करके जो आप बात कर पाओगे आप देखना उसका रिजल्ट. वर्सेस के जी अब हम गए हैं जरूर सत्संग. इफ यू डू इट once a month, 100 people, that's great. I mean, the energy that you're able to get, but as long as all 100 or all at least 95 of them are on the same platform, you're just listening to the shabads, sorry, old shabads and all that you used to listen to. I think there are plenty of playlists available. The langar is simple. The whole thing is simple. That's all that I really have to say. If anybody likes to ask any questions, I'd be happy to answer to the best of my ability.
Sangat, if you have any questions, please feel free.
Can I
Anything
speak?
about Guruji, if I
Please.
may be able to answer it.
Yes. Jai Guruji. We
Jai
all are the
Guruji.
Sankat from KL. I got connected because of Pragya, and it's been almost 8
Right.
years, and it's a wonderful journey. Every day we
Wow.
learn new. Every day, I can tell that in my house, my husband was not believing it, and abhi aisa ki he believes me more than me to Guruji and my kids also. So it's a blessing that, in a way, one by one, everybody learns. Yes, on May 25th this year to 31st May, there was Amrit Varsha in my house for 7 days. And I was not at home, but my kids saw. Then I put up in the group, and I was at the hospital actually with my husband. My husband was not well, and people have witnessed it. So it happened. So I called up just to ask somebody in Delhi, Bade Mandir, is happening? They saying it is happening all over in India, also in many places. So this is what I just felt I'll talk to you, that it did happen.
No. See, it has happened. It has happened with me also many years ago. But it's, Varsha means basically there's that thing on the picture and all. But I've never seen it happen the way sometimes people put reels. Okay, it is like, a tap is on. But anyway, I'm glad if
No,
it's
no, it
happened.
just
It's, I
came.
mean, That's
by the
the way
time
it should be.
by the time I came back from the doctor, it had gone. But people who were there, they have witnessed it, and so that is what had
Right.
happened.
So that is
So, and there were
no, no. It
two,
absolutely
three of them, and it smelled full of rose, full of rose. And just to do a shukrana, we did a satsang, and we were sitting, and there were aunties who were sitting, and suddenly there was a जैसे एक रोज का फ्रेग्रेंस किसी ने परफ्यूम डाला है वो एक
हाँ
झोंका
वो आता
आया
है वो that is गुरुजी प्रेजेंस वो आता है 100 और गुरुजी के टाइम पे तो आप मानोगे नहीं आई वाज द नेक्स्ट डोर हाउस और गुरुजी अपने कमरे में से निकलते थे नेबरिंग हाउस के अंदर और हमें अपने फर्स्ट फ्लोर सेकंड फ्लोर पे खुशबू आ जाती थी रोज की कि गुरुजी has stepped out from this thing that his
जय
fragrance
गुरु
is we I mean there is no roses at home there is nothing there we still get it but what I
यस
was trying to say earlier
नो
was the
रोजेस
fact that when people talk about कि वो juice पी गए biscuits खा गए so I don't know maybe I'm wrong maybe they're right I'm
No,
just
no,
telling
this
you
has
my
never happened. But
this
yes,
thing but yes
Amrit Varsha did
I'm
happen for
glad I'm
7
glad
days.
your husband family everybody is joined with him that's a great big thing and that's the way the sangat grows but and the connections are so vibrant that people are jodoing every day. So that means, I mean, like he would say, "मेरे जान तो बात पता लगेगा," and that's exactly what is happening now. That's exactly
So when we started, we were 20. Today we are 250 to 300 people. So on Guruji's birthday and Ma
lovely,
Samadhi, there are people about 200 to 25, sometimes 250. And langar is made in the house by
nice.
everyone. And that's how it's simple. And so thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well, my only request is stick to the simplicity because that's what it was at that time. And Guruji, and a lot of people have asked me what was Guruji's favorite. Guruji loved Karelas, huh? So Sangat nu pasand nahi aande, but Guruji loved Karelas. So maybe next time you can make them.
Yes, Guruji. Sunny, you have a question, right? I see your hand raised.
Jai Guruji, Uncle, I'm Siddhant. It was lovely listening to you.
Hi, hi.
Since
Thank
you've
you,
been
Ji.
with
I
Guruji
hope I
and you
spoke some
spent time
sense.
with him. No, it was really nice. The way you spoke, I really related to whatever you said. I have a simple question that I think sometimes, because I listen to Shabads on my way to office, at home. Any specific Shabad that Guruji used to love when you guys were together?
Not really. I mean, not in terms of Shabad, but yeah, he used to listen to a lot of Bhai Harbans Singh Jagadri Wale, who's no more. And a lot of Punjabi Shabads, which a lot of those Shabads I don't even hear now, they just disappeared, because it's all been taken over by fancy singers and stuff like that. But yeah, basically, Guruji only loved Gurbani. And that's what used to play. Coming from Punjab, it was all about Gurbani. And at that time, many of the satsangs we would have would also have Gurbani artists in them, doing the kirtans or whatever else. Let me see, which was Rakhi Charna De Kol was a very popular one. He used to enjoy that. That's by this thing. And De Naam Santokiya. I'm just trying to recollect. There were, if you just go into the old Sangat, the list, na, there a lot of them are there in the playlists on YouTube.
Yeah, but
The
you don't know whether
older
genuine or not because you were
artists.
speaking. I thought, let me hear it from the horse's mouth. But thanks, Uncle. Thank you for sharing that.
Honestly, I mean, I listen to a lot of shabads also, but when you start to sit back and think which was his favorite,
Yeah,
very difficult to
thank you.
pinpoint any particular one because through the evening we would have heard about 20, 30 of them. He would sit down. Uh, he would normally come out of in the room around 5 o'clock, 5:30. Sangat would start coming and then till about 10 o'clock at night. But और कौन से थे यार? There's भाई ओंकार सिंह, भाई हरबंस सिंह जगाधरी वाले. Maybe I'll come across a list and I'll message it to somebody and they can pass it
Sure,
on
that'll
to
be
you
great.
as I'll
Thank you.
have to sit
Thank
down
you,
and
Uncle. Thank you so much.
just figure out which were the good ones.
Thank you.
So, do
Any
you
other,
come to Delhi?
sorry, but
Because I'm sure you must be traveling to Delhi also.
Uncle, Delhi though, I mean, I go almost every 3 to 4 months. Then I am sure I go to Bade Mandir.
Okay.
definitely I'm sure.
Right, right.
If I'm there for 3 days, I'll go for all 3 days for sure. So that's what I do.
Okay.
That's like,
Mhm.
charging your battery.
Yeah, true. In fact, we're supposed to go there tomorrow. There's somebody's satsang there tomorrow at the Bada Mandir. So Mandir ka satsang is okay, not these IFA ones. So I'm going for that tomorrow.
Yes.
Uncle, I have a question.
So none of you have ever. Yes, hi Pragya. Tell me hi, hi.
Sorry. I have been to Dugri. That's your question. Sorry, Pragya. So yes, I have Pragya and I have been to Dugri on Samadhi Day once.
To
We've been
Dugri.
there. Yes.
Right. I've in fact been to Dugri with Guruji and I've stayed in the house. That time it was not such a this thing. It was just a very small little place, and that's the time I drove Guruji there when Guruji's mother had passed away, Mataji. So we all
Mhm.
went overnight over there,
So
and
we've been there. We've been there once on Samadhi. There was, I think 2015 or
right.
2016.
Okay.
Pragya.
Sorry, somebody had a question. You were
Uncle,
saying, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Uncle, you have met Guruji physically, and then, of course, a face, and Guruji was always omnipresent, right? But not having him see physically after he left his chola, uh, what was your journey? What was the difference in your journey in the both? I mean, was it after that, you felt that what was the difference, and how is your journey? Faith is there, of course, your full devotion is there, but what about your journey of surrender? And here we always say that at the end of the day nobody is in control, right? So with Guruji, surrender is the best journey, and I would like to personally hear from you your journey of surrender, your thoughts on surrender, and that shift of having Guruji physically right in front of you and immediately not.
Because it was very difficult initially. It's like that void was there, but I think slowly and steadily it's just imbibed that he's still there. I mean, we don't even, if we go and matha teko to the kursi and the singhasan at the mandir, I mean, you are presuming he's still there. So, the problem is people think, oh, hum to mandir aaye, yahan to koi baitha nahi hai. And I sometimes tell people, he's sitting there. You may not be able to see him, he's there. So don't behave like there's nobody here. There is somebody here. You've not just come to listen to shabads and eat langar. I mean, if you come in his aura, his presence, or whatever is, he's there. Today we've maintained the Chota Sudha Auntie's how the Empire State room. It is like Guruji is still there. AC is put on in the summers. A heater is put there in the winters. रोज भोग लगता है उसी कमरे में जहाँ गुरुजी खाना खाया करते थे. सुबह चाय का भोग लगता है before they drink tea at home. The singhasan over there is clean. It is wiped. The chola is changed. So it's a question that we still believe he's there. So to say that what is the difference? The difference is physically you may not see him, but like I said, I marvel at you because हमने तो उन्हें देखा है गुरुजी ऐसे बैठते थे, ये उनकी स्माइल होती थी, ऐसे बोलते थे, गुस्से होते थे हमसे, बड़ी दफा मेरे से गुस्से होते थे. Gusse in the sense because when he would be in a pensive mood, I remember standing near the kitchen and मेरी duty होती थी, so he would इस तरह करके बुलाते सी. So somebody or the other from the kitchen would go there and I would go there and he would mutter something. Yeah. And go back to the kitchen and Sudha auntie would ask, क्या मांगा है? मैं कहा आंटी पता नहीं ठंडा मांगा है कि चाय मांगी है. कह रही है जाओ फिर पूछ के आओ. And I knew it कि दोबारा जो पूछने गया उसको तो पड़ जानी है. So when we'd go back to him, गुरुजी चाय मांगी है या वो ठंडा? कमलिया सुनाई नहीं देता बहरा हो गया चाह कही सी तेनू. So in a very sweet way. So all those things were beautiful, and so I can still visualize those expressions of how he would say it, whether he would say it with love or he would say it with anger or he would say it with both. And that वो गुरुजी याद है ऐसे बैठे हुए थे और उन्होंने ये बात बोली. अच्छा वो याद है यहाँ गए थे तो वैसी बात बोली. मैं तो गुरुजी को have taken him to Shahjahan Road to eat chaat in the middle of the day one day. He said चाट खान का दिल कर रहा है कितने चंगी मिलती है. मैं गुरुजी शाहजहां रोड वो कितने है. मैं कनॉट प्लेस आ चलिए फिर. So 3-4 of us went to Shahjahan Road to have chaat. So all those things for us is still there. So it's not ke we just going there and matha taking and coming back. It's like it's a kapde bhi yaad hai. I still have vivid, clear memories of Guruji's Adidas shorts and his number 5 or 7 t-shirt jo pehante the piche likhi hui. He would love shoes. So the auntie lived in America and still does. So whenever she'd come, she'd bring him shoes. And वो गुरुजी 10-15 दिन 20 दिन पहनते थे, फिर उतारे किसी को दे देते थे, जा ले जा. So yeah, I have a joda of his full joda. I gave my wife. He's given me his socks. So he would just give away everything, his juttis, his everything else. But whatever of his is original is still preserved at Sudanti's place in the bedroom. Bed cover, unka chai ka pyala, plate, thali, everything is still there. So to answer your question, how does it feel? For us, it feels the same. That he's still there. So we're not just going into an empty hall or an empty this thing. So we still put out the langar the way it used to be served. And I still tell people, yeah, please sit quietly and eat. You haven't come to a party. Guruji ke time pe choo nahi nikalti thi kisi ki. Everybody would be sitting in pin drop silence and having their this thing. But these days, langar has become कि वो तो पूरी party होती है. इधर से उधर सीधा kitty party to langar or from langar to kitty party. So the presence of his is still there. I feel it in my home. I feel it at the mandir. I feel it, wherever. So you have to feel him in yourself. It doesn't matter where you go. It could be in your house, my house, Bada Mandir, Chota Mandir, Jalandhar Mandir, Tokyo Mandir, everywhere. So what is a mandir? Mandir is just a building. You can open 20. न्यू जर्सी में भी खोल दो, शिकागो में भी खोल दो, वो मंदिर है, वो बिल्डिंग्स हैं. But your actual connection with him is in your heart, with you. So you don't really have to, ठीक है, we may make it a routine कि यार संडे को गुरुजी के मंदिर चलेंगे, अच्छी बात है. But that चलेंगे is where? Is to a mandir, in wherever it may be. But end of the day, even if you don't go, you can still connect with him at home. So his presence is there. So I don't think his physical presence may not be there, but his presence is all over the place. Like you said, खुशबू भी आ जाती है उनकी. All kinds of signs are there of his, that you can feel कि गुरुजी's presence is here, या गुरुजी ने bless किया है, गुरुजी ने दर्शन दिए हैं. And like it's everybody has their own personal connect. So there's no a standard formula for applicable to all. It depends how strongly you connect with him. And like he would say, मैनू ते देना आंदा है, तुहानू लेना आना चाहिए. It's very important for you to be able to take from me. I'm here to give, but I don't give to everybody. It's not that तुसी आज जाए चट मंगनी पट where I used that phrase earlier. You have to come and you have to be worthy of getting something from me. And worthy of getting something from him is how you connect with him. देना आंदा है, मंगना आना चाहिए, is what is the critical point. I hope I'm not too philosophical here.
No, uncle, it's very, very. I mean, we definitely connect. I'll tell you. As I said, 2011, I went for the first time. Till 2022, I know very clearly. I had a faith in Guruji, but there was no surrender. For 11 years, I was going
Right.
Monday, doing everything. There was a faith. But I think it's him when he decides. That's what I believe through Sangat and old Sangat I've heard. He decides when it's your time. So I was going for 11 years.
Absolutely.
There was no faith, but there was no that connect, I would say, right? But last 3 years has been magical, I would say, has been magical.
No, like you would say, see, it's our karams, it's our journey, and how we connect is dependent on us. Exactly what I said. If you're connecting 50%, 70%, or 100%, when you surrender, when you leave it to him, and that surrender comes कि चलो यार जो होगा देखी जाएगी, क्या है, worst comes to worst, ये हो जाएगा ना, गुरुजी हैं अपने आप संभाल लेंगे. That is a surrender. versus saying कि ओहो गुरु जी ये क्या करा दिया, मैं तो आप पे इतना मानता हूँ, ये देखो क्या हो गया. That is not a surrender. That is this thing के so the surrender is क्या क्या है, worst come to worst क्या है, मेरी जॉब चली जाएगी ना, चलो यार जाती है जाए, गुरु जी देख लेना, बचा देना, मे भी बेटर जॉब मिल जाएगी 2 महीने बाद मिलेगी. So that is a surrender. That is what really gets us connected and leaves it to him. He would say ਛੱਡ ਦਿਓ ਮੇਰੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਅਗਰ faith ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਛੱਡ ਦਿਓ. He would say ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ, he said ਗੁਰੂਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੰਨਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਨਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਬੋਲੇ ਰਾਤ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਰਾਤ ਹੈ, ਗੁਰੂ ਬੋਲੇ ਦਿਨ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਦਿਨ ਹੈ. ਹੁਣ ਮੰਨੋ ਨਾ ਮੰਨੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ. So
Getting
it's
there, I
pretty
can say.
much up to us. Again, I'll give you a simple example. It's a satsang. It goes back to the time when my younger daughter was born. That was 1999, and she was about probably, I think, 3 or 4 months old. So my wife comes from an area called Darjeeling side. So she was going back to her home, and the Pranati, the younger baby, was going with her. And we went up to Guruji and said, Guruji, कल जा रही है, कितने जा रही है ये गुरुजी अपने, की हो गया, मैं कुछ काम में, she has to go for some this thing, वापस कब आएगी, मैं गुरुजी वो शायद फ्राइडे ਨੂੰ आएगी या सैटरडे ਨੂੰ, some I don't remember the day. He says नहीं, उन्होंने फ्राइडे ना आए, सैटरडे आए. क्या ठीक है जी. I told her, she said, listen, I have to be back for work, I can't not be here, so seats करा ली हैं, so I'll come back. So ठीक है. So she went for 2 days. On the way back and all, they take off from Bagdogra airport. Their aircraft is hit with a bird hit. The engine catches fire. They have to make an emergency landing back in Bagdogra. And all took place. And she had to take a taxi and drive back to Kalimpong, which was 2.5 hours away. When she called me, she was like shaken up with the little baby in her hand or whatever else. And I went in the evening and I told Guruji, I said, Kandan, Kamle, मैं क्या सी ना आज नहीं आना वापस, तो सुनोगे थोड़ी मेरी गल, मैं क्यों क्या सी आज नहीं आना. So that's it. I mean, when he said it कि यार उन्होंने फ्राइडे ना आए, सैटरडे आए, अब हम मान ले या ना माने, that's up to us. If you take it for granted कि नहीं है, छोड़े गुरुजी को क्या पता, मेरे को तो वापस आना है, मेरी मीटिंग है, जरूरी है. And not that, I mean, he says मैं बचाया है उन्होंने, मैं क्या सी फ्राइडे नहीं, सैटरडे आना या संडे आना, one of the days. I'm getting confused there. So that's a question of your faith, your own belief. Either you take his word as gospel or you just brush it aside and say नहीं यार ठीक है, कुछ नहीं आता. And then when something happens, then we kind of put 2 and 2 together. So that is.
Sugandhi, I think you have a question.
Yes, thank you. So, Jai Guruji uncle,
Hi,
I have been
Jai Guruji. Hi.
fortunate. I've been fortunate enough to be in the same room in Empire State when Guruji was there. Though I was a kid that time,
Lovely.
but I understand
We are all still
Guruji took me
kids.
under his shadow. Yes, 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 yes. So, Uncle, I have a question that in today's time, and I was a kid that time. I was maybe in 8th standard or a ninth standard. I don't even remember the exact time. I've met him like whatever, maybe
Right.
5, 6 times, and whatever satsangs used to happen at my sister's house, and I used to attend. And now, if we have to do satsang, so while you've answered a lot of questions also in terms of surrendering, I wanted to ask you, how do you, if you have to do a satsang today, how will you do satsang, And there are no rules. I understand there are no rules, and it is how simply how Guruji is wanting us to connect. But still, just as a curious, I would say I'm still as a curious, child, because that time when I attended, we used to have our, we used just to sit there and listen to satsangs. I've mostly come in the evening time only, because my sister used to get free at that time. So very curious of if you have to do if you have to do satsang tomorrow, day after, whenever you do. So how do you kind of prepare about it? And that is one question. Second question is that there are a lot of distractions nowadays. Lot of fears, lot of things in the mind, and I've been asking Guruji, how should I focus? And I want to let off the fears. So just wanted to ask you how do we distract us? How do we avoid those distractions?
देखो जी, I'm no guru. Let me be honest. I'm just
Of course.
like आजकल there are many gurus in Delhi who talk ke yaar Guruji ye bolte the, Guruji aisa karte the, satsang aise karo. In my opinion, a satsang is very simple, is what you do from your heart. Okay, there are no rules. Though people have made rules ke Guruji bola karte the, aise karo, waise karo, kuch nahi bolte the Guruji. Keep it simple, you know, that's it. Have a satsang, you can have it tomorrow morning. There's no, the first question you have to ask yourself, why do you want to have a satsang? You know, that is my first question I ask somebody. Is it a satsang for Guruji? Is it a satsang for me with Guruji? Or is it a shukrana for something? So the very pertinent question is, why a satsang? Now, again, I'll go back to a satsang, which is connected to what you just asked me. So all these years that I lived next to Guruji's, you know, Guruji would go out to somebody's home. आपके घर चले गए, छोटा 20-25 लोग लेके, चलो मैं आऊंगा, किसी के घर शादी है, किसी के घर कुछ है. So we would go with him. He would say, कल जाना है 7 बजे आ जाएं, गड्डी ले आएं, तैयार हो जाएं. So we would go with him. So many times I told him, मैं गुरुजी तुम देखो साढ़े घर कद आ रहे हो. And I was the house next door. It was literally open the door and you can go into this house or this house. So आवांगा, दसांगा, आवांगा. 1 साल बीत गया, 2 साल बीत गए. Again we were going somewhere. One day I got little this thing and I said, गुरुजी हर जगह तुसी चले जाते हो, मैं ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ कहना मेरे घर आओ, तुसी आंदे नहीं हो. So he looked at me, he says, कमलिया मैनू आन दी लोड़ नहीं हैगी, मैं तेरे घर आ चुकिया, मैं तेनू ब्लैस कर चुकिया. तू लोकां नू दुखान वास्ते बुलाना है कि गुरुजी आ रहे ते जा फिर जा लाइटां लगवा ते खाने बनवा ते बैंड बाजा बजा, मैं आ जाऊंगा, 10 किस दिन आना है. That was the day and today is the day. I've never had a satsang. So the question is, what are you seeking from that satsang? You know, I mean, there's a lot of happiness क्या गुरुजी का सत्संग कर रहे हैं, but there's equal amount of happiness in not having that satsang. But yes, you should do it if it's in your mind, and that should be simple. That's what I said initially. I don't know if you were there. So there is no rule. Play your shabas. They're all available online. Put out the chatai like we do in Empire Estate since you've been there. Serve thalis. Four people sit to it. और गुरुजी आजकल तो वो ट्रेंड बन गया है, दुकानें खुल गई हैं लाजपत नगर में कि गुरुजी के चोले खरीदो, गुरुजी की जूतियां खरीदो, जब तक 50,000 रुपए नहीं खर्चो तो वो गुरुजी का सत्संग नहीं होता. मैंने तो घर में तस्वीर के ऊपर किया हुआ है. मेरे व्हेन माय डॉटर गॉट मैरिड वी हैड अ स्मॉल लिटिल दिस थिंग हमने तो गुरुजी का जो घर का स्वरूप है वो लगाया, उसके आगे पीछे फूल लगे, शब्द लगाया और सत्संग हो गया. So today there are shops shipping internationally. I'm sure they must be coming to Malaysia also, and you can make the satsang as simple or as elaborate as you want, but it should come from your heart, and that's the only advice I would have. Unlike people के यार अच्छा नहीं सत्संग में पहले ये करो, बाद में ये बजाओ, ये शब्द पहले बजना चाहिए, ये बाद में, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. At least in my
Yes.
book of this thing,
Yes,
ऐसा
yes,
कुछ
yes.
नहीं है.
Because somewhere or the other, the Ekumkar plays first, and then the band. And is it necessary to play band? Because I feel when the satsang is there, so I believe Guruji is already always with me. So again, like I said, I know there are no.
I believe you. I don't believe there is nothing this thing के बैंड बजना चाहिए या नहीं बजना चाहिए,
हाँ.
आरती पहले होनी चाहिए बाद में होनी चाहिए. अपने दिल से जो मर्जी करो, साफ सफाई से करो, कोई हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल नहीं है उसके अंदर के बैंड पहले या आरती बाद में. ना उसमें कुछ गलत होता है, ना उसमें कुछ ठीक होता है. इट इज द वे you'd like to do it. ना कोई वो रूल है कि एक सब्जी के साथ सत्संग करो या 10 सब्जियों के साथ लंगर करो.
Yes.
मिठाई कौन सी होनी
Yes.
चाहिए, वो ना these are all things which have now become, ओ गुरुजी तो ये मिठाई
Yeah,
मना
yeah.
करते थे, कुछ नहीं मना करते थे, जो मर्जी करो. So that I
Thank
hope
you.
that answers your.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Savita, you want to go next? I think we'll take this last question.
Yeah.
So we have Ajay also. Okay, Ajay, last yours. Okay.
Jai Guruji, Uncle Atul, can I just ask you what is the
Hi.
correct way to pray? Because I've heard conflicting theories. There is a saying out there that says, Mango na mano. Okay, so I've heard this so much and people just always say it randomly. What is actually the meaning of this? Where did it come out from? So are you actually saying that when you sit in front of him, like any god, whether it's Jesus or Vishnu or Lord Shiva or Sai Baba, when you sit in front of these gods, you want to sort of communicate what's concerning you. Maybe you're asking for blessing, then you're doing some shukranas, and then maybe you have a challenging situation where you need some guidance. So all this a dialogue. You have a dialogue with whoever you're praying to. So when I hear people say mango na mano, I mean, then how do you pray? So if you don't ask, how do you pray? Can you throw some light into the situation? What is the best way to pray to Guruji?
See, there is no question of best way to pray to Guruji. The question should be, what is the best way to pray? Like you said, you can pray to any god. Okay, so he's just another one who's there. So how do you pray? Pray is something which, in my book of prayer, I'm no priest or I'm no preacher. In my book of praying is mango, but mango correct cheesein. Don't ask for materialistic things. If you're having a health problem, mango. Guruji, I have this problem, help me. That is mangna. Don't say manno, I'm mang nahi raha, but so when I think what are you trying to say is mango na manno basically means for materialistic things. When we ask for things which are worldly, this thing, Guruji, mainu ghar chahiye, mainu plot chahiye, mainu business is taraqi. These are things which we are materialistic. Yes, you have a health problem, you have a mental issue, you want to do, zarur mango. But like I said, you have to mango on a one-to-one. You cannot mango in a band baja barat. You have to have that one-to-one connection. You don't go around dancing and mangoing. You just sit there, imbibe, speak to him, and you'll get an answer. In some form or the other, you will see some sort of hint or something. Oh, this happened, or like everybody has these own way. I tell you, somebody I know who was once sitting and praying at something, and I was saying, and suddenly they were sitting somewhere, patta dig paya. And she thought that's her answer. कि यार, Guruji has heard me and this leaf has fallen on me. या कोई फूल हो गया या कुछ हो गया. So these are hints which you will get, or these are signs which you will get. But yes, as far as how do you pray, pray is a very individual thing. I pray even in my car listening to music. मैं शब्द सुनते सुनते भी मेरी prayer चलती है. It's not कि prayer only means कि चुपचाप आंखें बंद करके बैठे रहो. Even when I'm driving, you're listening to a shabad, that's a prayer. You may be doing 10 other things, but if it's playing in your background, you're remembering God in some form or the other. So mango na mano is, you can, like I said, you can take it either way. But yes, mano is most important. You first have to you have to have the belief. And Guruji is, like I said, he's omnipresent, and he would say the same thing. He says, "Bas aa jaya karo, mainu pata hai ki dena hai, kinu dena hai, kad dena hai." So asli cheez le aao, which is your. So for me, honestly, what I ask is peace of mind, and that's it. In 3 words, you can get everything. That if Guruji peace of mind de diyo, along with that will come everything else. If your job, peace of mind is there, that means the job is there, your health is good, everything is good. So just, I mean, I don't want to sound like a guru myself. I'm not anywhere close to this, but a lot of people give this gyan about कि Guruji ऐसे बोलते थे. Guruji ऐसे कुछ नहीं. He would just say, like I said initially, be a good person and connect. Connect is very important. That is, what we are missing out today, which I find in today's satsangs is that we miss out on the connect. And the connect comes with silence, and the connect comes with, concentration. You cannot concentrate at a huge satsang where waiters are running around and kids are running around and, khana, cling, clang, sound, music, this thing. You can only connect. So rather sit at home, put on the Shabad behind you and connect. Your objective is to connect with him.
Yeah. Can I just add on the word connect and how we're praying? I introduced Guruji to a friend of mine in India, and so which means I followed Guruji first, and then she followed Guruji. And the ironic thing is, she says that she can connect with Guruji if she has any questions or whatever. She says that Guruji shows her like a reel of things and information, which she says is accurate. So I'm just wondering, is that possible? What is she seeing?
Absolutely.
I'd like.
Everybody
I.
everybody has their journey. There are people who've been coming for years. Like I think Uncle just said, he went for so many years and then he suddenly surrendered and he connected. So you can be going for years and years at a stretch and you may not connect with him. And somebody might go
That's
one day
right.
and connect with him the next day. So it's very individual. It's very this thing. But yes, I mean, to answer your question, yes, it's quite and 100% that's possible. Where we were in Empire State, hardly two people from there used to come, and people from all over the world used to come. And so, that's your connect. People from all over the world were connecting, but right next door, somebody was not connecting. So
Yeah.
it's, and that has a lot to do with us as individuals, as our karams are, or as what we are supposed to. But like some people ask me, कि यार अंकल हमें तो इतनी देर हो गई है करते हमारे को कोई ड्रीम नहीं आया गुरु जी का. मैंने कहा यार अब वो मैं आई कांट आंसर दैट क्वेश्चन. मुझे भी आता है 6-8 महीने साल में कभी एक दफा दर्शन हो जाते हैं उनके. And the
Yeah.
darshans are very vague. It's like suddenly you wake up in the middle of the night and there was something you'll be dreaming of, and then you wake up, कि यार ये क्या था, and then you realize कि oh, I was Guruji, I saw him here or I saw him over there. That's a darshan. It's not that he's sitting there and chatting with you for 1 hour, कि जी darshan होए, ये होए. It's just subconsciously it comes and goes. Like my wife, she says I've never this thing, but I have, and we all go.
You have.
So ये होता है. This happens.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Jay, please go ahead.
Welcome.
Um, Jai Guruji, Uncle Ji. I don't have a question,
Jai
but
Guruji.
I wanted to say something. I had actually seen one of your podcasts that came up in my Facebook feed, and I thought
I,
this man,
I I
I didn't
don't
know,
do
I
very
did
many
not.
of them. I must have done one in 2019 or something.
I know, and it is so much related to how I believe in Guruji. That I sorry, I did not know who you were, but I realized you've been very close to Guruji. That this man talks so much like I believe in Guruji, how I want to be connected with Guruji. And we've been living in Malaysia, but we ultimately plan to move back to India. And I was thinking to myself
Right.
कि ऐसे वाले सत्संग में कैसे अटेंड करूंगा. The satsangs we have in Malaysia are nice, simple. The all the sangat takes care of all the arrangements and everything, versus the satsang that happen in Delhi. I've seen some videos, and what you've been saying, they are over the board kind of satsangs. कि ऐसे में कैसे करूंगा.
I call them IFA awards.
True, true, true.
Hmm.
But thank you for sharing about Guruji. We lived in Delhi till 2011, but never met Guruji. Now we feel uh, it would have been such an opportunity if we had ever met Guruji. Had the chance to meet him, but we never met. But thankfully, we've connected, and it gives me immense, sort of internal peace just to be connected with him. Like you were saying, Mango, that's what I asked of him, ki Guruji sab acha rakhna, peace, internal peace dena, that's it. So that's what I ask for Guruji, and that keeps me happy and going. And thank you, Uncle Ji, for guiding us and giving us some insights about Guruji.
Most welcome. Yeah, and I think that is something which is the correct way to approach his blessings or to seek his blessings. Is ke shukrana karo, be thankful. I think each one of us is very lucky in life of what we have. When you look around yourself, and that itself is a shukrana in itself, which needs blessings from whichever divine power that you may believe in. And keep it simple is very critical. And many times I ask, there are some Sardar people also who come, and all kinds of people come. But nobody's been able to answer this question of mine, and I would put that to you also. When was the last time you went to a Gurdwara or a mandir and you danced? You know, so it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, but I don't know why this is becoming a culture here Uh, how can you connect at a dance? You're going there. Sorry, the Delhi pollution is getting to me. So how do so just it is mind boggling at times, but then it's become, the wave is so huge now that, I'm an outcast. If I try and spread this kind of a message, people say, नहीं जी आपको क्या पता जी, गुरुजी कराते थे. मैं तो पहले भी बताया कराते थे, बिल्कुल 3-4 दिन होते थे साल में जो गुरुजी कराते थे, अपने जन्मदिन पे, शिवरात्रि पे, कोई किसी की शादी पे चले गए, जाओ डांस करो. I mean, I'm going to share something with you where I've been for a wedding with him, and we had driven him. We went to Punjab somewhere. I think it was Pratap Singh Kero. There used to be the chief minister at that time. Unki family ke koi the from this thing. We went for the wedding, and we were standing at the back over there, and somebody came and said, "Guruji bula rahe hain." So went up to, "की कर रहे हो?" मैं कुछ नहीं गुरुजी, पीछे बैठे. जाओ ड्रिंक शिंक लगाओ, ਇੱਥੇ ਵਿਆਹ ਤੇ ਆਏ ਆ, ਚੌਥੇ ਥੋੜੀ ਆਏ ਆ. So, he was that, this thing, go enjoy yourself, you come for a wedding. So that is how, I mean, the kind of relationship I've spent with him, and we would joke around and we would this thing, and that is what I keep in my mind, कि, जितना simple वो थे, उतना ही simple हमको रहना चाहिए. But वो आजकल होता नहीं है, because वो इतनी बड़ी wave चल चुकी है of satsangs and business of satsangs, I should call it. ठीक है, I mean, to each his own. I'm nobody to comment on selling jodas and juttis and trinklets and bracelets. And गुरुजी के टाइम पे तो हमें कुछ नहीं मिलता था, ना ट्रिंकलेट ना ब्रेसलेट. उनकी ब्लेसिंग मिलती थी, ज्यादा से ज्यादा कोई थोड़ी फोटो वोटो हो जाती थी गुरुजी की. That's what it was. And अपना गए, प्रसाद लिया, जो प्रसाद आता था खुलता था, बढ़ता था, खत्म हो जाता था, लंगर लगता था. So keep it simple. If you're moving back to India, I'm sure there are some people who still have very simple satsangs. It's not that the thing is, you'll never see these simple satsangs being advertised in reels and on social media, because they're done in people's homes, and they're done quietly with shabads playing. There are some great singers today. I know them personally, whether it's Siddharth or it's anybody else. Nikhil Berry ho gaya, Siddharth ho gaya. They're great singers. But at that time, there was no such bhajans. It was always shabads. And up to everything is all over the world is by this kind of music. And so that is really my journey and my thought process in today's date. It's been, what, 97 to we're almost in 27, 26. It's almost 30 years. So I could refer them to them as black hair days, which are now turning white. And so the train is carrying on. New people are getting on. Old people are getting off. The other day I was seeing one picture of some old Sangat somewhere. I was looking at the places, and so many people have moved on. So a new generation is coming in, and they're making their own rules. के Thursday को नहीं सत्संग करते, इस दिन को नहीं करते, सुबह नहीं करते, रात को नहीं करना चाहिए. ये, like you said, somebody, कि वो आरती पहले करो या बैंड बाद में बजाओ. कुछ ऐसा कुछ नहीं था यार. जैसे मर्जी करो, जिस दिन करो, जौन से दिन करो, अपने दिल से करो, अपने घर में करो, और सिंप्लिसिटी से करो. That is my message, if it gets across to anybody.
Thank you so
We
much. Thank
will
you.
take your question as the last question.
Jai Guruji, Uncle
Hanji,
Parveen here. Uncle, I just
Hi,
have one
Parveen.
question, is that we are all Sangat. Okay, like for me, I'm born, brought up in Malaysia. I got to know through of Guruji through somebody else and all that, but you were very blessed to be around Guruji and with Guruji. If there are 3 or 4 key takeaways of how we should connect, how we should keep, they कहते हैं मर्यादा से रखनी चाहिए गुरुजी को, प्यार से रखना चाहिए. Like sometimes, like even for everybody, when things go our way, we are so happy that गुरुजी ने bless कर दिया, गुरुजी ने ये कर दिया. But if something happens that it's not acceptable, then why do we also blame him? Because if we believe Guruji gives us everything good and bad, everything is Guruji's mercy.
Because that is where your test comes in. When he gives you something bad and you still stay there, that is your test. The test can carry on for years, and your faith has to be there. If you believe in the good, then you have to be ready for the thorns also. They will come your way. It's not that everything will be hunky dory. तो सारी की हमारी तो सारी जिंदगी सफल हो जाएगा, सब कुछ ही बढ़िया होता रहे. So it is that test which is called, Guruji would say that कि गुरुआ दा टेस्ट पास करना आसान नहीं होता. So you will have tough times, you will have tough days, you will have tough years at times, but it's जुड़े रहोगे, so you will see the goods of it also. A lot of people give up halfway कि नहीं यार ये तो fraud है, ये है, वो है, छोड़ो परे यार, ये है, वो है. So it's not that कि वो उनको छोड़ो परे और fraud है तो कहीं और गए तो वहां सब ठीक हो जाए. वो जब जिस टाइम पे होना है तभी होगा. But you have to keep the faith going, you have to keep the whole process. It's like very difficult. We are all humans at the end of it. We all have doubts. We all kind of, it's not that we don't, even we have doubts. We would also worry at that time that गुरुजी ने तो ऐसे blessing करी थी लेकिन ये हो गया. भैया हो गया लेकिन वो time निकल भी गया. It could have been worse. So that's the only way. I mean, you got to stay connected, and that's not only with Guruji. That's with any person or anything that you have faith in. अब आप गुरु नानक देव जी को मान लो या शिव जी को मानो या जीसस क्राइस्ट को मानो या अल्लाह को मानो, हर जगह में डाउट आता ही है. जब एवरीथिंग आपकी जिंदगी में तो ठीक जाता नहीं है. There will be times when it will be little hunky, it will be little, you'll be on shaky wicket or shaky ground. So just keep the faith going, and I think that is what is critical.
In simple words, I can say, it was great to hear you. I think maza aa gaya, if I can say that word. Just it's like, एक
No, no,
energy
I'm
feel हो रही है.
so glad. Honestly, मैं करता नहीं हूँ. आपका मैसेज आया क्यों मेरे दिमाग में आया, मैं कहा चलो यार कर लेते हैं. मेरे को इतने लोग फोन करते हैं because I just feel it's not from, and a satsang, till you don't do it from the heart, it's not a satsang. If you just do it for the sake कि यार अच्छा एक और podcast है यार वो बता रहे हैं चलो कर लो. I mean, there are people I know who now travel doing podcasts and satsangs. वो business बन गया है. कि यार मेरे को somebody had पीछे called me कि uncle you fly down and we'll this thing. मैं कहा यार boss, मैं कभी आऊंगा आपके घर. If I'm in that country, I'll come and do a satsang if Guruji permits. I am not a professional as far as these things are concerned. And yes, if I can spread little bit. So I don't know, it just so happened कि आपने message किया. I don't think we ever met even. And maybe that's what Guruji wanted. And I immediately said, अच्छा ठीक है कर लो यार, क्या फर्क पड़ता है. It's a Sunday and let's
Thank you
go
so
for
much,
it.
Uncle. 'Cause
Why
it's,
not?
I mean, I definitely know about others, but I can feel the very, very positive energy through your words. So thank you so much, Uncle. Thank you for your time.